Hi, my name is Ken Asselson. I wrote a microbiome prescription website, and this is a orientation video for people using Ombre, formerly known as Thrive. So I'm going to be taking it from the beginning and doing a walkthrough and not doing an actual analysis of sample I'm working with, but explaining what is available where to get you started. It's orientation, something to frame the frameworks in. So first thing is we click clicking upload a microbiome sample. We go down here and click here. We go and select the sample to upload, and here it is, I believe. Let me just verify. You have the CSV for it, needs to be CSV there. Enter in your email, which I'm about to do, and then click upload and consent. A screen will be flashed there saying things about recalculating it. Basically, if you click update here, it does the same process. It simply takes your data and looks up the percentile ranking for the data. What you get from the lab is a percentage, which is percentage of the population, but it doesn't give you any information if you're high or low compared to other people. Percentile ranks you out of ideal 100 people, and say if you're 25 percentile, it means that 25% of the people who have uploaded samples have less, and 75% has more than what you do. So it gives you a better feel for where you actually are. Are you abnormal or not abnormal? And usually in most scientific studies, if you're not in the bottom 5 percentile or 2 percentile, or in the top 5 percentage or 2 percentage, then generally it's deemed to be not abnormal. It is a reasonable natural variation. So we have it here. First thing I usually do is scan down here to see what the numbers are like. In this case, we have a slight bias towards the high percentile. In other words, a bunch of bacteria which are a bit overrepresented, with people with long COVID and chronic fatigue syndrome. Overrepresentation is down here at 0 to 9. I don't know anything about this person's health issues, but that's it. Now, the simplest way to do is very easy. Just give me suggestions. People got frustrated, and the idea is to have new people come in, be able to get reasonable results in a very quick time. Now, when you click give me suggestions, it actually goes and uses 4 different sets of rules to select which bacteria should be adjusted. 4 different ways. Why? Because we do not know what the actual right answers are. So by doing 4 different ways with slightly different assumptions, in some cases significantly different assumptions, we end up being able to produce a consensus report. That is one which is more likely to be correct than any one of those 4 different methods, and probably better than a naturopath or even a MD in interpreting the results. We do 4 sets of interpretations, not one way of interpreting it, and see what everybody agrees about you should be taking or not taking. Makes life much safer for you. So what we have here on the first page is a cookbook suggestion. This came from working with somebody dealing with long COVID patients, and basically it is a list of the most common suggestions that that person is using with that group, and makes a simple thumbs up, thumbs down, maybe one way or another. Okay, which is there. Some people at that point of time, that's the end of how much information they're willing to absorb. If you want to absorb more information, we have 3 things here. We have retail probiotic suggestion, which I'll open in a new tab. And in here, it says which probiotics are absolutely safe. In this case, we have take count and avoid count. We did 4 ways of doing it. Nobody says don't take it. What we end up having is these are things which would appear to be safe. But what we probably really want to do is look at the likely safe, where we have more people saying take it, and interesting. And there, so oh, I know why. Okay, something to fix, but basically it indicates the estimated positive and the estimated negative benefit, and you can just go down here and figure out which of the available retail mixtures are most likely to help. And you also, if you take it here, you find out probably the probiotics which are likely to make things a bit worse. In this case, I don't see any major differences. They are so. If you want to toss your money and shoot craps, do them. Otherwise, try keeping to the likely safe for a number of suggestions to it. And I got something to investigate. The site always going through investigation and corrections and adjustments. Okay, now more technical details. Gives you everything ranked order, and you have the ability to see how many says take, how many says don't take. And I definitely see the probiotics have a bug in it, which I have to resolve. So we have here one particular probiotic is very high there. We have prescription drugs, etc. Often what people do is they come in on this page, and the first thing they do is click herb and spices and take a look at it. But before you go there, what you should always take a look at is the highest number, 504. Divide that by 2, and things that are 250 and above are generally pretty good items, especially if it's a 4-0 between take and avoid. So going back in, we do herb and spices, and we only have one which is above that threshold. Okay, minerals, and there, we have much more thing. We have basically the B vitamins are sitting there, and they're pretty good. So B vitamins is there. You can again drop the level down. You may want to also look at the negative things you want to avoid taking. For example, you're doing iron supplement, or doing magnesium supplement, or doing there. Again, what you do always want to do is find out what the most extreme value is. Again, it's 556, so that means about 250. And we can go over to look at diet styles. So we have the 3 top ones, which are diet styles to avoid, even though they are deemed to be healthy in general for yourself. It may not be it. And then we have low or moderate carbohydrate diet being highest one there. Again, we can drop it now, but the idea is to keep to the best values, especially we have 40 here. We could look at amino acid. We have things here, melatonin supplements, glutamate, etc. So we have a bunch of things there. And we could have prebiotics. Mastic gum is really up there. Chicory. Prepro Pro, which is probably not exactly what you want to do. It's used for colonoscopy. Jerusalem artichokes is there, and then you get everything coming down. And again, flip around for the negative. So dextrine is there, and some of the other stuff is sort of to be avoided, but the numbers aren't really that high. Again, we evaluate everything, and the idea is the higher the numbers, the more certain we are, the more extreme the values. Big high or big low, the more certain we are. Things in the middle, we don't have quite as much information, or they have contrary things. The expression I've used a couple times today has been, there are many chefs in the kitchen, and you don't agree on how to do anything. So depending on your goal, you may or may not be making a superb dinner, or you may be eating something which is uneatable for some people. For example, beautiful beef steak. Go out there, there's somebody from India who are vegan. Don't go well. Again, there's a bit of fuzziness here, and all I can do is tell you, okay, here's the best things. to do. You can also take a look at the type of sugar. We have a bunch of sugars here to be avoided. Plain sugar is okay, and which for some people there, and then other ones are probably you can ignore the suggestion, whatever, and so forth. So it gives you variety. Oh, and of course, we did do the flavonoids. Oh no, we didn't. Lutein is there. Quercetin is number one there. So we have a couple of things sitting there as good suggestions. And we have, I forgot to check before, is probiotics. And we have myricin, bacillocongans. We have a Saccharomyces cerevisiae there, Lactobacillus brevis. So it would be trying to keep to the top ones. The mixtures could be hard to find. The mixtures are the names used in the studies, which may not necessarily be available everywhere as you read your probiotics. Okay, let's go back to the last part. The last part is a food menu planner. And this is okay, I'm not sure why that showed up. I think I know. Just a second. Not unexpected. I don't have anybody doing quality assurance. When I add features or changes, sometimes things go wrong. That's what happened. Okay, now I'm over at the food site, and the reason that problem happened was because it was logged on and working elsewhere, and things didn't clear properly, which I will get. So we have here the sample cross. You have all the nutrients which you should be having in the ranked order from highest to lowest. And what you can now do is start building a menu if you want. Let's take something. Okay, these are B vitamins, so you can often get them just straight from the health food store. Next is, of course, caffeine, which you can get in a variety of forms. But then we have two things which you probably are clueless about. If you click that, it'll go over and tell what foods it is in. For example, sage, thyme, global artichoke's head, and oregano are the ones which are highest. The double slash here means these are higher than most other things that have it. And then you can see down below it drops down. So you want to keep yourself into a high amount. And that's supposed we solve just by simply saying we're going to add 4 ounces for supper on most days. So we just add that in there. And you see a message up here saying we have added it. Now we can go back here. And actually we have to spin grams. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to flip over and change it to ounces because most people around here work in ounces. Look at our nutrient list, and now we're going to this other one, which you're probably clueless about too. And here we have what is in, and you have a variety of things. The poison hemlock is probably not the best choice. Just all comes from published nutrient lists. You can see the lists here for the sources. So I gather there must be some versions of hemlock around, or spotted parsley, or carrot fern, which is there, but all those could be, or fruit parsley, could be a bit of a challenge to get. However, we do have lemons, and lemons is easy to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 6 ounces of lemon. And we're going to have that for afternoon tea. Click here, goes there, and we can go on and do other things in the list again. There, here's another one which you're probably not familiar with, and then we see that, oh, okay, peanuts. I can have, oh, why not? I have 4 ounces of peanuts or peanut butter for breakfast every day, and I'll also have 4 ounces of barley for breakfast every day. And tangerine, I'll have 6 ounces of tangerine for lunch. Mark up here, lunch. And so on and so on. So the purpose of this is to try helping you eat the right foods for the nutrients. Many of the times the names being used from studies are not things you are familiar with. This tries to bridge the problem, the issue. So if you go back here, and now you can always just click the current menu plan, and voila, and there we have what's there. You could also go over and click plan nutrients, and it gives how much you have in it. And if you click over here and click twice, you see if it has a daily recommended intake and how well you are. For example, guess what? We already meet niacin requirement. We are low on zinc and thiamine. We are fine. Riboflavin, we are fine. Biotin, we are fine. Potassium, we are low on. So you may want to, even though it's not on the list, you may want to go and see about trying to increase your potassium intake. And let's do a 1 ounce of chai instant dry powder. And that's added in, and we can again go back to our current menu plan and see nutrient supplements there, and hit this 2 times, and we see potassium, and we're almost there just by having a little bit extra, so you can go and help build your diet. So that's basically, apart from my finding a few bugs, which I will fix the next day or two, is the process. And let me go over and get back to where I was. So basically it's there now. If you have specific, you can get more information. You can get over here where you get things. You can go and take a look at different types of health analysis. For example, unhealthy aging. You have some matches for some of the bacteria for unhealthy aging. Here we have a list of bacteria you have which are deemed unhealthy. Usually you're looking for 90th percentile or above. Some cases not healthy. Predictor infectious bacteria doesn't mean you have an infection. It just means this type of bacteria often can become infectious. And so their pathogen, etc. Again, these are things which are there. The literature is here if you want to read literature. Here we have a naturopath recommendation who has allowed me to use his cookbook recipe for what is a healthy gut. And you can see where you rank, and you're ranking pretty good, 95 percentile, and it says what is not ideal. So you can do it. Again, if you want to work on something, for example, suppose you have rosemary and you may have none of it, you can just click on the name, it will take you over and indicate things which will increase or decrease. And again, as before, you can go and just click that and then to see what will increase it or decrease it for everything. And if you bump up to the advanced level and we go back and do a refresh, then you get more information. For example, you will get list of things which are higher low. In this case, we have low, so we double click here. These are possible conditions associated with this bacteria being low. A bacteria being low doesn't mean you have a condition. It means that the profile is part, keyword part of the profile seen in other conditions. And to return back up, changing microbiome. And here we have the result of looking at all the conditions and see where you are in terms of things. And you can go and make your own judgment call. Here's percentile ranking and how many you have matches of 125 conditions we're looking for. So there, in this case, almost everything looks good. Lung cancer, 6 out of 19. It's sort of half and half. If you're a smoker, you may want to reconsider it. Hypoxia, interesting, 2 out of 0. That's again something I need to investigate. And so forth. So that's it. And then you got even more things. So the how to select different algorithms, just tons and tons of stuff floating around. So the purpose of this was just to give a very quick introduction. So that's it. A orientation to what's there. Lots of information there. Lots of information which you may have to learn to be able to interpret it. And that's about it.